Hey there everybody and welcome back to more Chibi-Robo, and in this part, well, after finally beating the final boss of the game that it honestly didn't feel like, when I was a kid I didn't feel like the final boss was really a final boss, but as an adult I understand. Anyways, oh, you got Giga-Robo's left leg after beating the Queen Spider, right? Let's give it to Giga-Robo. Not yet, we got other things to do, Telly, come on now. Oh, right. Well, I didn't actually view this as a problem, because we can just end the episode whenever now. The one thing, and yes, I said one thing I want to do during this episode, is Primopuel. We should be getting back to the Chibi house. This episode will consist of just running back and forth, shaking Primopuel's hand, going to bed again, doing the same thing on repeat, and showing you guys exactly how long that takes. The timer will be starting now. And most of this episode will be in fast forward, with commentary added in post explaining to you guys why I went out of the way and bought a real-life Primopuel, because this isn't actually a video game character, this is a tie-in merchandise toy. And I don't know how I feel about that. It doesn't negatively impact anything at all, except for my sanity because of what's coming next. In my notebook, I have this written down as begin 2 hours of sanity-reducing grinding. I don't know if it's actually going to be 2 hours, but, you know. I guess we should start now. As a reminder, touching his tail makes you hate him. Makes him hate you, not you hate him. Well, I'm gonna let this play out, and I'm going to listen to a video, few videos probably, while it happens. All right. Ah. Oh, come on. There are still spiders around. I didn't think I'd encounter them again this soon, but they're still wandering around. You can't actually wipe out the remaining finite amount of them. They just kind of exist forever in the house. But I guess the implication is that there are only so many left. I entirely forgot about them, if I'm gonna be honest. Back to grinding. Back to Chugga Conroy's most recent video, part 47 of Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, which comes out December 18th, 2024. Hey, this is future me talking about past me, and this is my little buddy. Wait, no. This is my little buddy. This is my Primopuel model. I think his name is Shiro? And he is a heart sushin, which means essentially heart communication. He talks from the heart. He has 6 buttons, 1 on each hand, only 1 on the foot. He's supposed to have more, and he does not have a button in the tail. 1 right here. Mine is a little bit broken. It's an old model. I think it's from 2006. This was intended for children the age of 6 and up. Right, it's not 6 buttons, it's children the age of 6 and up. Whatever. He's a cool little funky dude. I really like this guy. I got him thinking he was a knockoff. He smells kind of like cheeseburgers.
He knows 320 words, but he does not speak them because he is broken. Sorry, little fella. I really like the design. He's cute, he's neat, he's built like a weapon. And this is his battery box. Slip this button up, do that, pull these out. Brand new batteries, does not work. Slotted them in just before the video. Wanted to make doubly sure. I think there's something wrong with the circuitry with this. This is clearly a very well-loved toy. Lots of children probably got a lot of use out of this. Saw something flashing over there. I'm a very professional person. This is totally not just set up in my kitchen. Why won't you go back in? Why won't you go back in? But, oh right, I didn't show the front, did I? No, I didn't. This is the heart button. And this is the connector. The connectors all look fine. There's nothing that looks broken on Primopuel here. Just corroded with time and no longer functions. Unfortunate state of affairs. He was made to be compatible. Oh wow. It was made to be compatible with 3 other toy models, all in the same kind of heart communication line. This is not the most basic model of Primopuel like appears in Chibi-Robo that you guys are seeing on screen now. Instead, this is one that came later in the lifespan, and I didn't think I would ever find one, especially one of the more rare models compared to the more basic model. People in the Chibi-Robo Discord server have a few variations of this little fellow. I've only got this one though. And I have to say, he's a surprisingly well-made little guy. I don't know his origin story. I'm probably going to have to look into that a little bit more, but each Primopuel has a origin story, the things they like, what they like to do, and like what their favorite foods are, their favorite interactions, things like that. It's supposed to be something for kids to be able to latch onto and be a fun talking toy. And this one, in specific, talked to other toys. It could theoretically do conversations with them with the 320 words it knows, which I'm gonna call a slight stretch, but the imagination of children is much stronger than my imagination for this kind of thing. As you probably noticed, I'm calling it an it instead of a he, despite me calling it a he in the video, but that's because it's the character in the game. There's one more thing I wanted to talk about for him. I don't quite remember. It's alright. I'm going to be able to talk about it in the video itself. Oh, right. I did actually want to point out, I do know the exact release date and copyright and everything for when this one came out in specific, and it is listed right here. In English, 2007. But the base Primopuel model was first copyrighted back in 1999. And I think that's about it for what this little guy has on him specifically. Yeah, he's just cool. I like him a lot. Definitely one of the prizes in my collection because I love Chibi-Robo so much, and, well, you never got to see these outside of Japan, really, and finding this from a US seller, that was really cool. Especially one that was fairly local. This got shipped to me very quickly, and I think that was an incredibly lucky thing to happen. If you're out there and you recognize this little guy and know that he smells a little bit like cheeseburgers, thank you very much. I know he doesn't work anymore, but he means a lot to me. Now back on to whatever else I'm gonna say in the video.
And now the first thing I want to do when I'm recording this segment that I just have to do voiceover for is tell you guys that I've been wrong this whole time. While the Primopuel model in Chibi-Robo is the most basic Primopuel model, it is not the launch Primopuel model from 1999. It is the 2004 model of Primopuel. This instead technically makes it the most accessible model to access at the time of this game's release. It sold at 10,780 yen, tax included because that's how they do that in Japan. They include the sales tax with it. And it came out in late February, which is around when Chibi-Robo would have been entering, I think, beta phases, maybe late alpha phases. And it's intended for ages 12 and up. This Primopuel is supposed to be able to speak 390 words, but of course in the game that's different. He can speak as many words as he wants, as slowly as he wants. This little fellow released October 23rd, 2004, or late February 2004. It's actually not consistent. The Wikipedia says something entirely different from what the store page says for this Primopuel model, and I don't know which one is accurate. With the information so readily available on the store page, you'd think the Wikipedia would say the exact same thing, but it just doesn't. So I have to call that into question, and I do not know or understand the consistency of it, and it is not something kept a lot of track of online, at least from what I can tell in the non-Japanese speaking sphere. But that inconsistency aside, this Primopuel model could respond to its nickname, which you gave it upon the day that you opened it up, the phrase "let's play," "I'm leaving," and "I'm home," and it would have a bunch of different words and phrases it could say back to you, up to 390 as I said before. An interesting thing mentioned on the Wikipedia here that makes me think it's not true of other Primopuels is that this Primopuel can move both arms and hands up to 180 degrees. Maybe it means both arms combined with hands. Both limbs on the side of its body is the point. And another thing mentioned here that I never knew before I started researching for this video is that Primopuels wear clothes. I cannot find any of the clothes online for these guys, but I know they exist. I'm probably just not looking them up right. But also worth mentioning, if you do have this model of Primopuel, it isn't the same as any other model. It's bigger than them, and thus it will not match with other models' clothing. So I guess that's why this one walks around naked all the time. Plus he's just a toy, and, he doesn't have anything to hide. It's mentioned in a few places that this Primopuel can pose with its arms raised high, and quoting that directly from the Wikipedia page because it's phrased the best, but I don't really think that's very special. He can just raise his arms. I guess, this is intended for young kids, right? But this is intended for kids 12 and up, and I don't really... At the age of 12, I wasn't interested in things like this. But maybe I'm the outlier here. Now, our Primopuel here does have its own wants and desires and dreams like that. This version of Primopuel, this is a black Primopuel with a little red heart, meaning that it was born on a hill of first impressions. On Primo's house on the hill of first impressions? Oh, that's an interesting thing. And on a sunny morning in autumn. He really likes nuts, and he also likes singing. Now keep in mind, every single Primopuel likes singing. Some of them just also like other things. And one specific model likes playing. One last thing about the game-specific version of Primopuel is that it is a Type S. That is just another way of calling these. Heart-filled Primopuel Black Type S. The Type S is just often what they're called, to make it shorter and easier to understand for people, and that's about it for that. Now here is the first series of Primopuels from 1999. It doesn't even have an age recommendation. It's just listed as a, quote-unquote, from the store page, a stuffed animal that talks through 7 communication points. I assume 7 communication points involve the 2 hands, the heart in the middle, the 2 legs, the bottoms of the feet, the heart tail, and it's only 6? I would assume the nose is also one, because that's just a commonplace thing. That one can speak 250 words, including various seasonal words, air quotes. It also changes its mood and personality depending on how you interact with it, and it has a ton of fun events, such as going into an away mode and singing songs. You'll want to keep it by your side forever. That is just what the rest of the description of it says. This Primopuel launched at 7,678 yen in 1999, with, of course, tax still included. I have no idea why I said that I don't know where the last sensor is. It's on its forehead. It's close enough. I got that wrong, even though it's right in front of me, and I already read this. this Primopuel model continued to get new models until around 2005-ish, where they released a special limited edition version for the 6th anniversary called Blue Sky, Ohisama, and Starry Sky. Now, it's worth noting I was reading off a list of names there, but Ohisama means the sun. So they're named after all the things you see when you look up. So this tie-in product in this Chibi-Robo game isn't too out of the ordinary for Gamecube games. Pikmin 2 had a ton of them, and Chibi-Robo surprisingly doesn't. I mean, in the original Pikmin 2, you could go around and pick up Duracell batteries, and I don't know what was stopping them from doing something like that in Chibi-Robo, especially when they re-released Pikmin 2 and they removed all of those things. So there's nothing really stopping that. It just makes it easier to not do it. Now, Primopuel's name itself means first boy in Latin and Italian, apparently. I cannot verify that. I don't speak these languages, and I know machine translation is pretty tumultuous. Apparently, this is an alien as well, because this is a 5-year-old boy that came from the planet Primo. Obviously, he's just a toy, even in the Chibi-Robo universe, so this is a backstory that I suppose is just ingrained into him and he never really mentions. Apparently, every model of Primopuel is from, quote-unquote, the Heart Cosmos, which is, quote-unquote, the microcosm inside everyone's hearts to bring happiness and energy to everyone. It would be incredibly awesome if Primopuel did more things in the game, because that is so in line with what Chibi-Robo is there to do. Now, Primopuel itself was not owned at first by Bandai Namco, not entirely. It went on to be absorbed into Bandai Namco as they absorbed Wiz Entertainment, Wiz Toy Company, which is the group that makes Primopuel, or made, because the last model was released in 2013. Coincidentally, the year following is when they revived Digimon and Tamagotchi, which are also both made by the Wiz Toy Company. I think it was pretty reasonable to shift focus. Times were changing, the toys were going out of style, so they switched back to other things, and people had a heavy demand for them. Interestingly, this means Namco Bandai and Wiz Toy Company Entertainment, it's called Wizco online, it's called Wizco in all its listings, I should say Wizco, got together and didn't just make Digimon, and the anime for Digimon, and the licensing for Digimon, and the licensing for Tamagotchi, and everything around Tamagotchi. They also made this? Now, Wizco is a toy company, first and foremost, so they didn't really have much involvement in this game, they just licensed out Primopuel. However, this licensing out of Primopuel means a lot more now because Chibi-Robo is, well, at the time of recording this, soon going to be re-released on the Nintendo Switch 2 under their Gamecube expansion pack. Meaning that Primopuel may very well be gone from that version of the game. Mind, that is entirely me theorizing that. There is no guarantee. Namco Bandai has been very generous to Nintendo and Nintendo fans for a while now, so who knows what could happen there. Now, Wiz went on to later merge with Plex Company Limited, or Plex Corporation Limited, either of those, which is a subsidiary of the Bandai Group. But once more, I have to say it is absolutely fascinating to me that the Wiz Toy Company also made Primopuel and Digimon, and now that I see them together, I can kind of see it. It's in a very similar style, it's just much more cutesy. Now, the last news we have for Primopuel isn't from 2013 or 2014 or anything close to when it got its last model release. Instead, it's from 2017, in which that is the last time one seemingly got added to a store. But Primopuel was pretty big in Japan. It had a whole bunch of events, and in Namco Bandai headquarters, they would every year celebrate Primopuel's birthday. Which, by the way, Primopuel's birthday is November 13th every year if you want to light up a candle for the little fella. Remember, he's always 5 years old. Well, that's not true. Sometimes he's 4 years old. And sometimes he's a she. What I'm saying is there's lots of Primopuel models out there. Don't stress too much. Just light up a candle for them and they'll love you for it. Interestingly, and the weirdest line of Primopuel that I can find evidence of online is a Primopuel line that could get sick. The Primopuel Hospital was a hospital established within Bandai Customer Service Center to treat sick Primopuel toys. So like toys that got broken or toys that got actually sick. The way it's phrased makes it seem like the toys could get actually sick, but I think it's just supposed to be cutesy. What would happen is you would send your Primopuel along with a piece of paper that had your name, your contact address, your phone number, what's wrong with them, and the name of the Primopuel, including the nickname that you are hospitalizing. And they would take a week, maybe 2 weeks to repair. It's not too different from a typical electronics repair that you send off for, which I think is cool. Unfortunately for me, the last day of operation of this hospital was June 30th, 2018, where all of those repair clinics were closed, which makes sense. They don't make the models for them anymore, they don't do anything with them anymore, so they are not going to continue to run the repair service forever. But while the repair service is down, you could theoretically find the Primopuel CD album, which is just a single actually, and is the Primopuel theme, which is the theme song for quote-unquote Primopuel Chatterheart. I don't know what that means. Does that mean it's just the song that the Primopuel Chatterheart model sings? Or is it something else and it's... I don't know. Did they have like a theme song in a commercial that I've never gotten to see and I can't find online because Primopuel is fairly niche in the West? And the last thing I want to mention is directly from the Wikipedia here, because I have zero idea about this one too. Primopuel appeared in Kamen Rider Ryuki and Wataru Seikin wa Oni Bakari, which translates to a drama series about a world that is full of demons, or the world is full of demons, which I think is pretty hilarious actually. That's a great naming convention. Which, by the way, that aired for over 20 years. That started in 1990 and went to 2011. And Kamen Rider Ryuki aired from 2002 to 2003, February of 2002 to January of 2003, I mean. So it aired for 11 months, and Primopuel was in apparently a portion of those episodes. I know people love Kamen Rider, but I've tried to watch it and I just can't get into it. Maybe I'll watch a little bit of it to get you guys clips of these Easter eggs with Primopuel here, but it's not something that majorly interests me, but it might interest you though. My favorite model of Primopuel isn't actually the one I own. It's the song-filled Primopuel, Plenty of Songs Primopuel, the green salad colored one. That one specifically was released in 2006 in April on the 22nd, and it is also recommended to ages 12 and above. I don't get why. I still did not play with these kinds of things at this age, but once more, I might be weird. This model of Primopuel sold for 8,360 yen with tax included. It's described as dramatic, packed with features that'll make your day fun. 100 or more lines you can sing with. You can sing more songs. It's got a very weird description here. But the apparent biggest feature in this description is the ability to sing the full chorus of the original song, which heavily implies to me that there is a commercial or something containing this, and this is a very cool model for people to own, and that's why I don't see it anywhere. However, even though it sings the original song from that commercial or the original Primopuel model, it has new voice actors for this model, so I don't think they're playing into nostalgia for this. Just something new for newer people getting into it. I mean, it was 7 years since the original Primopuel launched at this point. Now, I did mention the last model of Primopuel. It doesn't have a list of words, it says. Instead, it contains a heart seed and came in two colors, black and pink. The heart seed was an SD card that you could download songs and words and things from and load it into your Primopuel, which seems very ideal if I'm gonna be honest. There is no wonder in my mind why this was the last model they released. Also, it is very fuzzy, released in 2013 on November 9th at 14,850 yen. Of course, since I'm popping conversions for this currency up on screen, you guys will know immediately what this is, but that still just does not seem like too much to me. This seems fine, especially for a specialty novelty toy. This model of Primopuel is kind of similar to the game version of Primopuel because it has multiple levels of friendship you must climb up that result in different levels of interactions from the Primopuel. With, of course, the maximum one, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth one being the biggest one. It responds to you differently, it says it loves you, it says it loves to talk to you, things like that. Now I'm going to tell you guys about the most expensive Primopuel that exists out there, and that is Primopiece. Not Primopuel Piece, Primopiece. It comes in black, it comes in pink, it has 2,000 words, it released in 2009 on March 20th. It's worth 16,500 yen. This Primopuel model breaks a little bit of convention because it has the two different models here be two different symbols on the chest instead of a heart symbol as well. It is two chicks, like little baby birds. And from what I can see, this has the most active marketing and the biggest description, and you can change settings on an LCD screen that is within the Primopuel. It's rechargeable, it has no need to replace batteries. It's a very good model, and I think the last Primopuel model also included those, but I can't tell. It's not listed on any of the things I have up, and I cannot find that on Google. It would just be a safe assumption to do that. Of course, obviously, it doesn't have the 2,000 words. It can have as many words as were available, or news discussions, or whatever else was loaded onto the Primopuel from the Primopuel website. Wait, isn't there an option past kiss? Wait, did we do it? We did it! We did it! We had the kiss! Okay, in the Japanese version of this game, you have to kiss Primopuel 3 times in order to get his sticker, I think, or maybe if that's the Wii version. I get those two mixed up because they're both the Japanese version. There will probably be something on screen to tell you guys which one's which, but that's not here or now. We can finally kiss Primopuel and he'll say things like, "My baby, I love you." Just things like that. Oh boy. Oh my god. It feels so good to have that done there. But there's still more past this, I believe. I've done footage on this before. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, kiss Primopuel, give him a little kiss. I feel lots of love. Yeah! You get 6 happy points for that, and that finally evens out our happy point score. Let's go to bed. And keep going. There is more. So it turns out there is no further grinding needed. All I needed to do was get to being able to kiss Primopuel, and that's about it. His dialogue does change during the day, and you guys will see that as the series continues on. But oh my god, that only took an hour. Okay, for those of you that are unaware, the last time I tested this took 2 hours to complete. 2 hours. I was moving at triple speed in the emulator. Well, that means it took 40 minutes, but since it was moving at triple speed, I tripled that, and it was 2 hours. So that means, I guess, it doesn't take 2 hours to complete, but it's still an hour, and moving at triple speed only speeds it up to 40 minutes. So, I don't know if that's worth it, but there's no way I would see this without speeding it up or without grinding for it, because at the point in the game where in which you're able to get to Primopuel and unlock this, you're already going to have played everything, and you're just going to think Primopuel has no further options. That's not true. Primopuel has a lot more you can do with him. Well, a lot. One thing more, and I think there might be one option after this, and we're gonna eventually see that, but because I'm going to still be playing this for a while yet. But until then, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my stuff, like, comment, and subscribe, and join my channel below. It's only 99 cents a month, and support my suffering. Genuinely, this was a very mindless slog to go through. It did not feel good. But that's it. It's like the worst part of this very short game. Genuinely, I mean that. It's the worst part of this game. It adds an hour to 2 hours to your playtime, and it's just you running back and forth. It's not fun. Not fun at all. I'm still kind of reeling. Thank you guys for watching. If you like my stuff, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Check my coffee and join my channel in the description below to support me. And I will see you guys next time for more. Bye. I want to say, don't worry. Chibo's fine. He's not got any dents in him or anything. Perfectly good. Tossed him in a way that I knew nothing would happen. Safe little fella.